Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the all-new 2025 Cadillac Optiq. This is a sport one. It's finished off in crystal white and the MSRP is just over $57,000. Now this is a full EV from Cadillac. It almost looks like a mini Cadillac Escalade EV in my opinion. But this is powered by an 85 kilowatt lithium ion battery along with dual motors and a single speed transmission. This pumps out 300 horsepower, 354 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the all-wheel drive system, propelling this 5,200 pound SUV from 0 to 60 in just shy of 6 seconds. And it also has a total range of 302 miles. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, you'll notice that there's not a full grille up top, but it has a really nice design to it. There's a forward-facing camera, and then tons of gloss black to give it a great look against the white. There's also a dark housing for the LEDs up front, parking sensors too, and then a sensor in the lower section for distance pacing. Now you'll notice the gloss black works its way to the fender arches. It's also in the lower side skirt there, and we have a two-tone design for these wheels along with regenerative braking. Now this also has power folding side mirrors with a camera and a turn signal, and the entire roof is finished off in a gloss black as well. There's a full moonroof up top, and then a really neat design in that rear cargo window. Now in back, there's also the body colored spoiler here, and if you stand behind the vehicle for a few seconds, it will actually open up the liftgate itself. So you will hear it beep. You don't even have to use your foot to kick or the control underneath, which is a really nice design. Now there's also some storage underneath the floor. You have some spots on both sides there with tie-down hooks, you have lights, and of course you can fold down the back seats. Now we'll just use the control up top there so that we can close it. And you'll notice too just how large the LED housings are. They have a split design to them there. There's also a backup camera, all the parking sensors, and more gloss black. And then we have a really neat design for the door handles here, where there's a lot of nice materials for this door panel. There's also a release here. You have lock and unlock with your window control, and then more storage down below. And then as we hop into the back at 5'10", there's a good bit of space. You have storage pockets, fence in the middle, auxiliaries, and storage down below. And then right in the middle, you'll notice that you have the armrest with 2 cup holders. And there's a good bit of visibility. You have a lot of light, of course, with the sunshade open. So you have a good bit of space for your backseat passengers. And then up front, you'll notice that this model has heated and ventilated seats, all of the memory seating adjustments. You have your seat adjustments with lumbar support, and then window mirror adjustments and more storage. And then hopping into it now, there's no actual start up button. So all I have to do is sit in the seat and all of the electronics will appear. When you put your foot on the brake, then you are ready to go into reverse or drive. So with it in reverse, this is the backup camera. So you have a lot of different angles, just depending on how you'd like to see. And you can easily switch into the forward facing angle, again, just depending on the visibility that you need. And then you have drive to the bottom there, and park is on the end of the stalk. Now for the rest of the steering wheel, it's finished off in leather, and you have distance pacing with cruise control settings, heated steering wheel on the left. On the right side, there's Bluetooth, shortcuts to your music, you have voice commands, and then you have volume and this arrow here. Now, in order to go through the gauge cluster, which is a part of the 33-inch digital screen here, you actually use controls over on the left side. So currently, we have access to the headlights. However, we can go into layout now, and we can go through the different settings here. So you can go into energy. You can also pull up the map in full screen. You have your assistance for your distance pacing. There's also a clean setting too. And then you can get back into your headlights and the lane keeping assist. Now you have a dimmer switch, auto hold with the liftgate release, e-brake, and 1 air vent. And then with the infotainment system, you have a lot more to go through. So you can go through all of these icons here, where you have a lot of controls for pretty much everything. You have the glove box release, so that way you can gain access. There's no physical button for that. You have the charge port, which is on the driver's side. You can get into your lights, parking, even garage door remotes. There's also a split view here. You can get into music, along with navigation and phone. You can even pull up the charging, so that way you can monitor all this information. And in the lower section, you have shortcuts to the regen braking, or the one pedal driving basically. You have the glove box release. You can actually shut the vehicle off, and you have a few settings in order to customize that too. Now underneath that, there's a row of toggles for all of the climates. You have fan speed, temperature, where you'd like the air to go. There's storage in the middle and in the entire lower section there. And then you have cup holders and shortcuts for this screen. So you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. You can just use those controls. You have volume and then the rotary dial. You do get wireless charging with storage in the armrest. And then this also has a digital rear view mirror, so you can use that as needed, dome lights, and the controls for that sunshade. This does have a fixed glass, so you just have that one control. And then as you can tell, you have a good bit of visibility in both directions. And so we are still in sport mode. Here we go. Definitely has a good bit of pep to it, especially with that amount of power. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for this brand new model from Cadillac. I think it's a really nice model. We have a very nice interior too. And like I've mentioned, I was in the all new Escalade EV, as well as the new Escalade, the gas version. And this is fairly similar, just everything is condensed a little bit more, being a smaller SUV. But I think this would be something that would be great for around town. It's comfortable and quiet, very smooth too. And I think it has plenty of space for its size. So it looks small, but there's a good bit on the interior to make this a practical SUV. And it can also tow right around 1,500 pounds. That's not a whole lot, of course, in the grand scheme of towing, but you could hook up a very small trailer, you could put a bike rack on, something like that, to at least use it for some smaller trailers and items like that. So just to add to the practicality of this SUV. I also noticed too, there's small windows in front of the side mirrors, so that way you have better visibility, at least on that passenger side there, maybe a little bit over here. And so if you're looking for an EV, you want something that's pretty luxury focused and at a relatively affordable price too. In the $50,000 range for an a Cadillac, I was gonna say Escalade, in the $50,000 range for an EV, it doesn't seem all that bad in today's market. So if you're looking for something luxury focused and you like Cadillac as a brand, this is definitely a perfect option to go with. I think they have priced it well for the EV market. But that is going to wrap it up for the brand new Cadillac Optiq. Once again, huge shout out to Randy Marin Cadillac for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.